Resident Evil 4 can be a pretty hard game, but with enemies moving twice as fast, it's a whole new nightmare. Not only do they move at double the speed, but rather every animation is twice as fast. Meaning if you get hit once, there's a good chance that you'll be dead before you can even react. And facing the chainsaw guy head on is outright suicide. That was a trap, dude, that was a trap. And bosses, they make Elden Ring bosses look like child's play. Sometimes their speed can be a little weird. And sometimes it can be unfair. Especially that I chose professional, which is the hardest difficulty. So without any further ado, this is RE4 Remake on steroids.
What was that?
Maybe I can just do the speedrun strat in here.
No fucking way.
Let's go. Is he actually moving twice the speed? Yeah, of course. Oh shit. Why did I have to check? I've already checked this mod. Why did I check again now? That was stupid. You know what? Let me try to kill. Oh, kill. This is a bad idea. They have no chill. This is gonna be fun. The next part wasn't so hard. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it gave me hope that this challenge wouldn't be as hard as I thought. But all of that hope got crushed when I reached the village. Okay, moment of truth. Village, can we do this first try? I mean, if I can, this mod is pretty much very easy. Holy crap, wow, did you see me? Who are you? Okay, I don't think we're gonna do this first try. Please don't cut the door twice the speed. Holy sh... I forgot they were fast for a minute.
Here you go.
Okay, that's the first try. Village was not easy. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's one of the hardest parts in the game. Because no matter how good you are, there's only very limited resources and you have to deal with a ton of people. And I got really sick of having to walk back each time I lose. Which was a lot, by the way. So I decided to change my strategy and do the speedrun strat. And there is a reason runners practice this room a lot. It's because it's so freaking difficult. And with enemies double the speed, that only makes it harder. After almost an hour of attempts, I finally somehow got one attempt to work. Oh, no way. Let's freaking go, dude. Holy crap. Oh my god.
La campana.
After that, I looted the village and headed to farm, which wasn't so bad. Of course, I died a few times, but it was nowhere where village was. The next part, I just ran past everyone until I finally reached the merchants.
Welcome.
On the merchant, I got the attaché case along with a sniper rifle, and I sold the extra pistol and shotgun along with some treasures to get some weapon upgrades. So my inventory ended up looking like this. And now I was feeling way more confident because I have better weapons. And surely the game is just gonna get easier from now on. I said the game would get easier, not that it would become easy. It's still a very difficult challenge, but with some strategic planning and just a few resets,
You lying?
I managed to push through the next couple of chapters. But unlike Village, I didn't get stuck anywhere for too long. Oh, and also I didn't save the dog because when the dog attacks the gigante, he regenerates health, and I just couldn't afford that. Sorry, doggo. When I finally reached the logo, I started fighting him, but he didn't seem to be moving at double the speed, which I'm not sure how it made me feel. I was feeling a bit relieved, of course, but I couldn't help but feel disappointed. So I started messing around with mods and I found a way to make all enemies move twice as fast with a trainer. Before I was using a mod specifically for this, but now I disabled that mod and switched to this trainer. And it actually worked. I was feeling really happy. What the hell? It's like a roller coaster, man. But it's impossible to hit him. But it's impossible for him to hit me as well. Or so I thought. Oh crap. The animation is faster than the cutscene. Did he?
Think you can swallow
Did he
me
just
whole,
swim
huh?
into the ground? This is ridiculous, man.
I don't think Spawn can take I don't think Spawn can take another hit like that.
Come on, Leon. This is stupid, man. Wonderful. I'm actually not sure if this is doable, man. Like I said before, I was pretty happy that I got the mod to work, but that happiness quickly faded away, and soon I was regretting the day I came up with this idea. You see, with the previous mod, enemies moved fast but behaved somewhat normally. But now, since he is moving way too fast, he was going through walls and hitting me through logs one after the other with no chance to dodge or fight back. And when you get a chance, the window to hit him is very small, especially after you hit him a couple of times, because then he just goes completely nuts. Minutes turned into hours and hours into days. I memorized all of his patterns, but I was still struggling. I even enabled a mod to see his health, just to know if I was making progress or wasting my time. And whenever I start losing hope, I would get really close to killing him, only to fail again at the last moment. My thumbs ached, my patience wore thin, and the lago just wouldn't stay down. But giving up just wasn't an option. Then, just when I thought I couldn't take another hit, a single harpoon found its mark, and the lago thrashed one last time before sinking beneath the waves. I had finally done it. The impossible had been conquered, not only through skill, but through pure, unyielding willpower. And that moment of victory was worth every second of struggle. And if you think this is worth a like or maybe a subscription, it would be much appreciated. After that, we got a little bit of a breather. There were a few enemies, but it was very doable. And I could definitely tell it's much harder, because in the previous mod, enemies were moving fast, but when they hit you, the animation is normal. But now with this trainer, the animation is also double the speed, so they can hit you and finish the animation while Leon is still taking damage. This way they can easily combo me to death, especially if there was more than one enemy. And I was starting to worry about later parts in the game, like cabin and waterhole, but now I needed to focus on what's coming next. So after getting the church key and looting all the islands, it was time to face the big boy himself, El Gigante. Before I went to fight him, I got some new weapons and upgrades, and the fight started. I was really determined to do this first try, and after a few very well placed sniper shots, I died. And then I died again and again. Each time I tried upgrading different weapons to see which one was most effective, but nothing would work. I kinda wished I helped the dog, because even though he regenerates health, the distraction of the dog would have been really helpful. And then I started thinking, and I realized that the hardest thing on the lago is that I didn't have any other way to fight him. I had very limited health because I cannot heal the boat, but now I have a lake full of fish nearby, and I have a few eggs, and the merchant is here, so I collected all the fish I could get, and I also got some eggs, and I sold almost all of my treasures. And I noticed that the shotgun had the highest firepower, so I spent all of my money upgrading it. And with a little bit of saves coming, I managed to get a couple of extra flashes. Now I was ready, and I did manage to kill him. But I used a lot of heals and I just wasn't happy with that, so I tried again. And the fight starts by me spamming his face with grenades, and then go into this cabin to loot everything. And as soon as he starts breaking it, I run out to the other one. And luckily I got a large resource in here, so I could craft another flash, which was really helpful. Now I just started unloading the TMP on him until I got the plug to appear. Then I use the flash, and that does really good amount of damage, and it gets him down, so I could use this knife QTE. And I think Leon knives had double the speed here for some reason, but hey, I'm not complaining. After that I just pulled out my shotgun and started blasting, and the plagas should get out in a few hits. And then I just do the same thing with the flash. And in here I was supposed to finish him off with a shotgun, but luckily I got that extra flash, which helped me do this process one more time, taking a lot of his remaining health. And then I finished him off with a shotgun, with only one egg and one fish used. Nice. Then I went to get Ashley, but before that I had to play with the dog for a little bit. Then I finally got her, and this part where you have to escape from the church is really difficult, because you have to deal with a shitload of enemies while babysitting Ashley. and I was getting destroyed in here. I got really sick of protecting Ashley while trying to survive myself. So I decided to just book it and leave her behind. But this was professional, there was no checkpoints. So I tried to save the game in here and loaded the save and Ashley was free. So I restarted and I didn't fight anyone this time, I only threw a flash and just ran past everyone to the typewriter. I was doing pretty well on ammo, everything considered, but the next room was pretty unforgiving. So after a few tries, I decided that my best approach was to self-kill the big guy first, and then camp on this window to kill whoever is coming. Okay, Ashley, where the hell are you? Ashley.
Okay.
Come on, Ashley. I cannot believe that, actually. I cannot believe that. After that, the merchant requests were surprisingly easy, and farm was hard but very doable. And now we finally reach cabin. Don't worry, I'm not gonna put together another sad montage like the one in the Lago. But that doesn't mean this part was easy. It was really hard. The tight space and the horrifying amount of enemies charging in at the speed of light made it very easy for me to get comboed to death. They just combo you.
No me jodas. Lighten up.
Nice grip. Oh.
Do something, would ya?
Shut up, would you? They're burning me, man. So as you can probably see, it was complete chaos. So my strategy was to try to kill as many people as I can before they get in the room. This way I can get the wood planks early.
Not bad, right?
I'm dead. Holy crap, I actually survived. And he has a wood plank. And after I block the windows, I have to kill like 5 or 6 people to get this big guy to spawn. And my strategy for him was to use 2 flashes and knife him. And after an hour of attempts, I finally got it. But to be honest, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It was definitely better than my last challenge where I had invisible enemies. And you can check that out after this video. Come on. Let's go, finally, man. And chapter 7 was pretty bad as always. Just when you're done with 3 hard rooms in a row, you get 3 even worse. And I was struggling with ammo, especially with the upcoming cheese boss. And running past everyone just wasn't an option, because they can easily catch up to me, especially with Mrs. Fivehead around. So I had to clear the room. In the next room, my strategy was to greet the Bella sisters with grenades as soon as they spawn in, and then just make a run for it. And I chose this way because it's empty, so we can avoid any silly mistakes. And in this spot, enemies just can't go further, so I finished off all of the enemies in here. But finishing this room also finished all the ammo I had. Now I was really worried about the parts where you get chased by the big cheese, and I had a flash ready. But it was actually pretty easy to do.
Ashley!
Yeah, I just messed up now. I got it on the next try though. And now it was time to face the cheesy boy himself. But we just started, man. How? Oh god. Nice. Shotguns are really good. No, man, what the hell? How did I miss that, man? That was stupid. Oh, I just take this box. Oh god. Oh god. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go, man. Maybe we could actually do this first try. I don't have any ammo.
Guess your tap dancing days are over.
Holy crap, wait, no, shit, man. Oh god. And I don't have any heals. Great. God damn it. Well, there goes the first try. And while that was a decent first attempt, I was far from killing him. He can immediately hit you after the fight starts, and his attacks break my knives really fast, and it was really hard to avoid or dodge his attacks. And add that to my lack of ammo, I was in for a rough time. And I also tried different weapons upgrades each time to see which one would work the best. And I settled on buying a first aid because I really needed that, and upgrading the knife damage and the TMP firepower and the rifle for his second phase. And I started going at him attempt after an attempt. But still, the second phase was really hard, and I needed to have a good amount of HP and heals for it. So I had to play perfectly. And that I did. And after about an hour of trying, I was getting really good at dodging and parrying. Let's go. But in the second phase, I needed a lot of ammo to kill him, and it wasn't looking that good, because after unloading on him with the TMP, I only had some pistol ammo left. I'm screwed. Come on now, come on. I gotta be close. Oh god. He's reloading, man, holy shit. That was close. Come on, please. I don't even have a knife to knife his eye. Let's go, man. I finished him with a pistol. Let's freaking go. Finally. So after that I reached the castle and I swapped the sniper rifle for the Stingray, because even though the sniper has higher firepower, the Stingray had much better fire rate, and with the enemies running at me like it's the freaking Olympics, I decided that the Stingray would be better. Then I kept going and I managed to do this catapult room in my first try. I just brought up the cannon early and used it to clear most of the enemies in here. I reached this ancient room, and I was so hyped from nailing the last one that I forgot to save in here. And guess what happened? I forgot to save. I forgot to save. Holy shit, dude. Yep, I had to do all of that again. And the second time was much worse. And after finally clearing the room, I picked up the Magnum because there was a special offer for it and I didn't want to miss it. And then proceeded to fight the animals in the basement. My strategy was very simple. Do it like I did on my first playthrough. Crouch and knife him in the back until he dies. But there were some problems. With this speed, sneaking up on him was nearly impossible. It was like trying to sneak up on a ninja, except this ninja had knives for hands and an attitude problem. But even if I'd do it, he still hit me because he's just that fast. Plus he could react to any mistake in a split second, leaving me no time to do anything but get chopped into minced meat. Oh crap. So after a few attempts, I just pulled out the Magnum and unloaded on his Plagas. It wasn't easy, but it was very effective, and he went down just after a few shots. Let's go, man, finally, and I didn't even use the second hero. Now it's finally time for Waterhole, and I actually had a strategy for this room. Of course I start by sniping any archers I could before the fight starts. Then the plan was simple. I just go in to piss off enemies inside and make them chase me outside the room, and deal with them one group at a time. This way I could avoid any archers and prevent getting surrounded by enemies from every side. And once I got them out here, most of them would just go back, giving me a chance to kill only a few at a time and stab them in the back if possible. Sure, this strategy isn't perfect or groundbreaking, but it sure did the job, and I made sure to save each time I killed a few enemies, and that got me through the first half of this room. The second part though, now that was a whole nother story. Even in a casual playthrough, this room is really hard, especially this part, and now it's 10 times worse. You have to protect Ashley from enemies as she uses 2 cracks while surviving for yourself, and with enemies moving in this fast, the time you have to kill them before they reach you or Ashley is cut in half. And add that to my lack of ammo, and it was really bad. It's one of the very few rooms that made me question if it's even possible, because it really doesn't seem like it is. Ashley, what the hell are you doing? Ah, she's gone. I'm gone. And after a while, I found out that the best approach was to first snipe all of the enemies that spawned right after I boost up Ashley. And I had to be fast because right after that, I would have to kill a few enemies down here. I could also craft 2 flashes, and they were basically my get out of jail free card for when Ashley decided to get herself kidnapped again. And that was their main use, because enemies are only stunned for a very short period of time. Oh god, not your time, man. Damn it, Ashley. Come on, just go, Ashley. Go, you're very slow. Oh dear God. Just drop her, man. What the hell? Come on now. Time to reload, man. I almost killed her. Just move, Ashley.
Hang in there.
Is that it? Oh, come on, Ashley, you're very slow. Thank God.
Okay, get back here.
Now we reach chapter 8 and I really do not like this chapter. And not really much happened here except that I finally got the body armor, which was crucial for this challenge because it get hit a lot. And also this red guy room was a pain in the back, but it was doable. And we also got introduced to this type 3 plagas, which made the enemies act like they checked 5 Red Bulls, and I really didn't like it. I have no idea how I parried these 2. And I'm dead. Great. After this chapter we get Ashley back and we have to go through a maze, and dear God was it brutal. And it made me freaking hit the professional difficulty because after going through the whole thing and losing everything and killing as many dogs as I can, when I lower the last flag, enemies spawn and they kidnap Ashley. And now they can easily combo me and take Ashley away very fast, causing me to restart the whole thing because there's no freaking checkpoints. Are you kidding me? It took quite a few attempts before I thought of just doing everything and saving before lowering the last flag. But hey, now the lesson is learned. Come on now.
I'm coming for you.
Come on, Ashley, please don't get grabbed. Oh, thank God. And why did the dogs not spawn this time? This game is pretty freaking weird, man. Now I just did the speedrun strat in here to skip most of the room. And I really struggled on knights for a while, but I was able to kill them eventually. Great, great, great. Please don't get hit. Nice, thank God. I also played in the shooting range for a while, hoping I get one of these charms, but with no luck, sadly. Then I went backtracking and I got a few treasures, but little did I know, no number of treasures could prepare me for the next few rooms, because each one was worse than before. Just keep that in mind. We start off by doing Ashley's section, which I was really skeptical about. I wasn't sure if I could do this because there's no way Ashley can outrun the knights. And while I could have skipped most of the unnecessary parts in here by entering the correct time, I decided to do it because I wanted to get the treasures and the weapon in here. So I did this part with the help of the blue fire lantern. Oh God. And I just barely made it to the next one, just so I could die in here. Oh God. That's stupid. Going at it again, I tried to use the lantern more, and I was able to do it. But this wasn't the part that I was worried about. It was this one after you lose the lantern.
Please open fast, open fast, open fast, open fast!
What the hell is that? How am I gonna open it? They were coming at me like they didn't move for 500 years and wanted to make up for it. If I were to do this, I needed to literally dribble them. which is exactly what I did.
Assistència de Xavi, més capradeta per Messi, 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 immens Messi, encara 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 Messi, gol, 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 gol.
Leon!
Thank God. Man, I think I was more scared than Ashley.
You all right?
After I got the weapon, I found the golden knight, and now I finally had the exclusive ticket. And I was wondering which weapon I should use it on. And after some thinking, I settled on putting it on possibly the worst option I had, and that is the pistol. Under normal circumstances, it wouldn't be that bad because it gives you a good critical shot chance when headshotting enemies. But now it was, because with this mod I barely had any time to aim, let alone aim for the head, and most of my shots were mixed between body and headshots, so I barely noticed any difference. But anyways, now it was time to face novies, and as long as I kill them on the air or when they're hiding, it should be all good, because as soon as they start walking on the ground, they become like a giant super fast cockroaches, and that's the last thing I need. Come on, you wanna fight, huh? Come on, let's go. Now I arrived at what many people consider to be the hardest room in the game, the double garador. I have to kill 2 garadors and one of them has armor, and for the cherry on top, you have a good number of enemies to make your life even harder. And if I learned anything in this challenge, is whenever I get 2 or more enemies in the same area, I'm in for a rough time, and the more enemies the worse, and add 2 garadors to that and you're just in for a treat. My strategy was like another speedrun strat. I wanted to attract them to this bell in here, and spam them with heavy grenades and finish them off with a magnum. And this is much easier said than done. Come on man, let me go. Come on, now time to spam the heavy grenade. You piece of shit! Oh god, please don't die. Oh. I'm dead. Yep. After a while of unsuccessful attempts, I was trying to think of something new. And I remember that I skipped the goat head room in the last chapter, so I can go back now and loot the place. And I only found 2 enemies in here, so I killed them and looted the area. And it was pretty good. I had some heals, some ammo, and even a treasure. And now I just had to focus on the garador's room and keep trying now that I have more ammo and heals.
There's 2 of them. I'll just flash everyone before throwing the grenade. And I learned my lesson from this guy. No! Not now, you piece of shit! What? Don't tell me the game is crashed. Don't tell me that freaking thing crashed the game.
A few moments later.
Oh, it's back. Thank God. Come on now. Nice parry. Oh, come on. Just let me go, man. Oh, God. Let's go. Nice. Come on, just die, man. Come on. Ah, no. Please, let me heal. Please, I'm stuck. One of them is gone. It's only 1 remaining. Oh dear God.
Not bad, right?
Oh, thank God. That was way too stressful. After I finally did that, I went to the next room, and I had to go through this area with invisible novies before I can get a typewriter to save. And it was really scary, especially with the novies on the ground. They were very fast. But thankfully I was able to do it without dying, which was a big relief. Now I was on top of the world until reality hit me. Literally.
Yep. That's not it.
I just finished one of the worst rooms in the challenge only to be greeted with the worst one. Imagine if you take the most dangerous and fastest enemy of the game, which also has the most amount of HP by the way, and make him double the speed. And you'll get a freaking tank that can easily combo you to death like a freaking Tekken character. At first I was thinking it wouldn't be a problem because this is the only boss that I could run away from without killing. And I only wanted to kill him for the video. But there were some problems with that. First off, good luck even trying to kill this thing. Secondly, good luck even trying to survive long enough for the elevator to get away. And thirdly, good luck trying to kill him because even luck wouldn't help. I wasn't kidding when I said nothing was gonna prepare me for the next rooms. At first I was confident with my weapons. I had a fully upgraded shotgun, it only needs the explosive upgrade now. Only if I hadn't wasted that ticket on this stupid pistol, but anyways. I was spamming him with my shotgun and some grenades when he's frozen. And I would also use the magnum on the rifle, but that just wasn't enough. And I would die before I could kill him. Then I got a heavy grenade drop, which gave me a few ideas that we'll talk about soon. I tried using some heavy grenades on him, I could only craft 2 of them. And I would use them along with the shotgun and magnum and any other grenades I got in drops. And once I used all of the nitrogen, I just spam him with whatever I got. And on this attempt, I only used 2 heavy grenades and like 1 or 2 regular grenades. And when I felt like I was gonna die, I enabled his health bar to see if I'm even close to killing him. And surprisingly, I was.
Oh my god, did you see how low his health was? This is definitely doable if I get 2 heavy grenades like before.
Even though it was frustrating to lose when I was so close to beating him, I was motivated because now I feel like it's doable. And if I only used 2 heavy grenades and got this far, I can do a lot better. And now I was gonna use my idea. I reloaded the save and started save scamming for heavy grenades. I know it's not the most noble thing to do, but I was stuck here for hours, so I just reloaded the save and I went to break this box. And if it's anything other than a heavy grenade, I would just reload and keep doing that until I get a heavy grenade. And then I just save and do this process on 2 more boxes. And I did manage to get 3 heavy grenades, and I could also craft 2 more, so it should be pretty easy now.
What the hell? How many heavy grenades? Like 5? How are you still alive, dude? Oh my god. This door is broken.
Honestly, I don't understand. The math is just not mathing, man. I should have killed him by now. After a while, I was getting really sick of this guy. So I decided to do some testing, and I found out that the heavy grenades don't always do the same amount of damage. I'm not sure if it's because of the distance or which way he's facing, but sometimes it deals 1300, sometimes 2600, and sometimes 3900, which is probably why I got screwed. And I also noticed that the kicks deal a lot of damage, either 450 or 1800 if I get a crit, and I do have the melee crit charm, so that will come in handy. And I found out that the most effective weapon is the magnum, with 2300 damage per shot. Now I had everything I needed, and while it was very difficult, now I know how to do it. But I left his health bar on because it doesn't really alter the gameplay at all, it's just a way for me to see if I'm making progress or not.
Nice, he got frozen.
Already in yellow, that's good.
Heal, heal. Nice.
Man, this magnum is really powerful.
Nice parry. Come on, just spam him with grenades. This should be over soon.
Here you go.
Nice, all of them did 3900. Heal, 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 please! Come on now.
Shit.
Ah,
Finally, some peace and quiet.
thank
My
God.
condolences to your master.
That fight took almost another 4 hours on its own. Seriously, this challenge took way too much time and effort, and a like would be much appreciated.
Yeah, perfect timing.
But if you think I can rest now, oh boy, you'd be wrong. Because literally the next room was also a freaking nightmare. Like I said before, the more enemies there are, the worse the room. And I had 2 chainsaw guys that can insta-kill you with a shitload of dynamite and molotov spammers. And you'll get a room that will get me stuck for like an hour and 18 attempts.
Just throwing this goddamn...
And it almost left me dry on ammo. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that now I have to face the double gigante room. Seriously, this game's gotta chill, man. Everything from maze until now was a freaking nightmare, and it only got worse with each room. Maze, knights, Ashley, double garador, Verdugo, double chainsaw, and now this shit. Anyways, I firstly tried just biting the gigante and dropping him, but that didn't work, so I had to get the plagas out first and then flash him when he's on top of the hatch, which wasn't easy because he's moving pretty fast.
Here it goes.
And after I deal with this guy, I'll have to survive the armored one until Lewis brings back the dynamite, which was much easier said than done, because you can barely avoid any attacks when the enemies are close, and there's literally nothing I can do to avoid this guy. So like most rooms in this challenge, heals were the most important thing. So my strategy was to see if I can get any heal drops before Lewis goes to get the dynamite, and when he does, I'll just wait on this corner for when he arrives and pray to dear God that I make it until Lewis comes back. And it certainly did take a few tries, but I did manage to survive.
Leon!
Nice.
Beautiful. Just as
Come on, I make it to the thing.
All right, let's finish this guy off.
Oh no. And then I choked the flash throw. And then I died.
No me jodas.
More praying and attempts later, I finally got it again. This time I was able to use the flash to bring him down, and then I just dropped him into the hatch.
Luis, out of the way. Perfect timing.
After this room, I finally got a little breather. So the next minecart section was pretty easy, and even though these weren't so bad, you just have to know where they're hiding, and if you spot them early, then it's free. Now we arrive at the first Krauser encounter, and it really was much harder than I thought. It's definitely hard to parry his attacks, and the window to hit him is really small, and sometimes he just keeps jumping back and forth, and you'll never know when he'll hit. And his hits do a lot of damage. I died 6 times in here, and I barely made it out the last time. After that, I got back to the castle, and I got the last small key in here, and I went backtracking. Then I went to get the golden egg, but this room had a lot of mini placas, and it was really annoying. In here there's a golden egg that I'll save for Salazar, but there is another egg in here that I can use for the merchant request.
I'll be taking this.
I cannot believe I just did that. Thankfully the chicken dropped a couple more eggs, so I didn't have to retry. Now we go through this watchtower, and it certainly wasn't easy, but I had much worse. And after a few tries I just killed everyone and saved the game. An elevator was doable, but it left me on red. Now it was finally time for Salazar, and I saved up the only 2 eggs you got in the entire game, and I knew that only 1 egg takes away 70% of his health. But I didn't want to risk anything, and I just used both of them on him. There we go. I messed that up a lot more times than I would like to admit. Now we reach Island, and I was starting to feel the ending of this challenge getting close, and I was eager to finish it. And I finally unlocked the Killer 7, which I swapped for the first Magnum because it's just better. And I wanted to do a skip in here, which can be done by blowing up this guy into the turret.
No! No! Move out of the way! I'm gonna die!
Or waiting an attack from the machine gun dude, so he goes on the lasers.
Can you come here? Please, please, for the love of God.
And after a few attempts, it worked.
Nice, make your way.
And then I was breezing through the rooms one after the other. I'm not sure if I got much better or the game got easier, but I was actually enjoying the challenge now. That was until I reached the regenerators, and they were tough. Especially before I got the scope. And I did get the RE5, but I really didn't like it, especially that I had a fully upgraded TMP by now. When I got the scope, I killed all 4 of these regenerators one at a time. And the enemies that spawn after them were actually harder, because there was a lot of them at once. And they did kill me a few times, but I beat them eventually. After I got Ashley back, I really wanted to do the skip in here, but I was on the latest patch, so I couldn't do that, and I had to go around. I was going through these rooms with only a few deaths here and there, until I reached this room where Ashley needs to hold the bridge for you. And as soon as the power goes on, suddenly it's like a relay race to kidnap Ashley, except instead of a baton they get a regenerator to throw at Leon. But seriously, this room was pretty hard and I was in here for a while. But then I found out that the regenerator won't spawn if you don't move a lot from here. So I just camped in here, killing all of the enemies that are going to Ashley, and once I didn't see anyone coming, I just booked it towards her. And I didn't even kill the meaty boy in here, and then Ashley just dropped him down the bridge.
Drop a thing, drop a thing.
Like this.
Oh, and I also forgot to talk about the Iron Maiden. It wasn't the easiest boss, but it wasn't that bad. And I don't think I died in there. And after that it was time for Wrecking Ball, and I used 2 heavy grenades at the wall, and it broke pretty fast. Now I was hesitant between doing the Iron Maiden mission request, because I did all of them except the golden egg one, but I ended up doing it first try, so it wasn't that hard. Now I was going to face Krauser, and this fight was a lot harder than I thought. We start by fighting him on his first phase, where you just have to deal enough damage and survive to progress. And then you just have to go through a lot of traps, and then another area with a lot more traps, while he tries to snipe you. And then we fight him again. And usually by this time he has taken a lot of my heals and armor. And it's really hard because, like I said before, he's very fast and unpredictable, and he deals a lot of damage. And after that he finally transforms into his second phase. And before you reach the arena where you fight him, I was certain that there was a merchant and a typewriter here, and I had this whole plan to buy more armor and save, but surprise, none of that exists. And the worst thing on this whole fight is that if I die, I restart from the beginning, which made this fight so much harder than it needs to be. And if I were to do this, I needed to play perfectly and save my armor and heals for the last phase. Man, god dang this. And after more than 2 hours of trying and failing, I finally did it. And there was this weird glitch where he tries to hit the ground or whatever, and he just goes out of bounds for a few seconds. And that actually helped me by giving me some time to loot the area. Now we finally reached chapter 15. Just one more stretch before the challenge is finally over. And for the first area, Mike took care of most of the enemies in here. And I think he was also double the speed because he was moving a little weird. So anyways, whenever we clear an area, I just go back and save. And when I reach this turret, I just used 1 heavy grenade and 1 regular one, and it just blew up without me having to go around. After that, I tried just running to the next area, but I was getting slapped. So I decided to hang back, and Mike took care of most of the enemies. I just helped a little. After that I go in here where I have to switch 2 levers, and I did die in here a few times, but after clearing most enemies, it becomes very doable. Now we just go through Novi's on the last merchant request, and in this room, if you just avoid hitting the body bags with the regens on, they will never get out, so I completely avoided those. And now it was the final enemies room, and I think I only died once or twice here. At first I tried to do another skip in here, which is just blowing yourself past the turret with a grenade, I think, but with no luck. So I just did it normally and I killed everyone in here. And now for the most exciting part of the game. No, it's not Salazar, it's this hallway with Ashley. Now it was time to face the final boss of the game, and I know that this boss can be easily cheesed with a rocket launcher, but I didn't want to do that. Instead, I upgraded the knife to the max so the QTE can deal a lot of damage, and then I upgraded anything else I could. And I've been holding a shitload of gunpowder because I had the attaché case for it, and I was saving it for when I need it. And my weapons were very powerful, so I went in and I quickly blew up his eyes and hit him with a knife on his eye or mouth or whatever the hell that thing is. And then he jumped away and killed a lot of Novi's. And I was trying to snap his eyes from here, and after he got back, it was complete chaos. After a lot of grenades and shots, he finally opened his eye for the second time. And I did the QTE again, and that killed him. Is that it? My weapons are very powerful. First try, man, let's go. I was really surprised he went down this fast. Thank God I was collecting all of the treasures to upgrade my weapons. course, I still had to survive this. Then I just blew him up with a special rocket launcher. Ah, there we go, man, finally. Oh god. You know how many hours I spent on this? And I was so excited to finally finish this. And very proud that I killed him on my first try. And
Oh my god, I didn't save. Oh, for the love of God, man, what the hell is wrong with me?
yep, professional is brutal.
Man, for the love of God.
So I fought him again. This time I almost died, but I made sure to save after I beat him. And then I did jet ski without dying this time, and I had finally done it. It only took almost 40 hours of gameplay and more than 100 save. And if you like that, subscribe so I can get monetized. Peace.